If you've watched my channel for a bit, you know that I'm a anime fan and I do like to express my opinions on certain shows. I have the top 5 best shows I've watched and the top 5 worst ones I've watched. And to be honest, those lists have pretty much stayed the same throughout since I made those videos. But today I'm going to be casting my votes on the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. They're going to be premiering later this month, and I've casted my votes a couple weeks ago, right at the end of the voting. And I think I'm going to have some interesting opinions for sure that I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with, but they're my opinions and I want to express them and just kind of make it a little video. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. I got the nominees pulled up here. I guess we'll start, back to front here, because I do have Anime of the Year at the top. Okay, so here we go with the last last of the voting, but I'm going to go in reverse order here, starting with the best voice actor, voice artist performance. For this one, I gave it to Sarah Nacho Chinny. I'm pretty sure from the comments I've seen about the show, this is from Alia, sometimes Hollers Are Feeling in Russian, or whatever the short title, Japanese title is for that. But for one, I really liked the show. I thought it was pretty cute and it was an enjoyable watch. Another thing is that I heard that the Russian in the English dub, which was this voice actress, was better than the Japanese dub or sub of the same show, and I'm pretty sure she's the same voice actor as Ash Ketchum. I don't know about that. That's just what I heard in the comments and stuff. But apparently, that her Russian is a lot easier to understand. Obviously, I don't speak it. I only speak English. I'm not bilingual or anything. But I think if it's good enough to where it's better than the original, and a lot of Russian speakers has agreed that this is the better version if you want an authentic Russian accent, and I think that deserves to be number one in my book. To be honest, I don't think I watched any other than Huxley, which I'm guessing plays Sung Jin Woo. I think he did an alright job, and Armin's character is fine as well. Haven't watched Dan Dan yet, but I do need to. I didn't watch Frieren in English dub, so I don't have any opinions on that. Going to the Japanese performance, I don't think I've casted a vote on this one. I don't think I did watch Frieren in sub, but these other shows I have not watched in sub. Delicious and Dungeon I'm watching in dub. So if I had to give it to one, it'd be Frieren, but I don't think I voted for this one. Best ending sequences. I don't really have an opinion on this one because, to be honest, I don't watch the ending sequences. I do watch the intros. I watch every intro of every show I watch at least once. And for this, I don't really, but for endings, I don't really participate in them. Yeah, I didn't vote for this one. Best opening sequence had to be for me the introduction of Oshinoko. I think this is. I looked it up and I think it's the. Let me check. Let me double check real fast, but I'm pretty sure it's the one by Yosobi. Okay, it's not. It is the second opening. I still think it takes the number one spot for me. To be honest, I know this one. I know Dan Dan's. I know Soul Levelings. That's the first opening. I'm a big opening enjoyer. I still think this one probably takes the cake. Either that or Level by on the Soul Leveling in, season 1 intro, first opening. So yeah, I gave it to Oshinoko on that one. Best score. I am, like I said, a fan of music when it comes to any show I watch. I do think it adds a lot to a show if it has a good soundtrack, good OST, everything. To be honest, I have not watched half of these. I haven't watched a lot of anime that came out this year, I'll be honest. But the three I have watched, Soul Leveling, Demon Slayer, Hashira Training Arc, and Frieren. Don't remember enjoying Frieren's soundtrack a lot, but I voted for Demon Slayer Hashira Training Arc because the song that plays at the end when they're falling into the Infinity Castle is just a banger, man. Just a banger. So that's what I gave for number one there. Okay, so this is best opening song. I'm pretty sure I still gave it to Fatal. I think I casted the same vote. I guess sequence more like the art and how it looked rather than the music itself. I'm still giving it to Oshinoko on that one. Pretty much same opinions on that one. Must protect character at all costs. I'm guessing this is like kind of like the cutest character or something. I gave it to Anya. I haven't even watched the latest season of Spy Family, but yeah, that's all I'm gonna say there, I guess. Best supporting character. I think I gave it to Farron from Fearin' Beyond's Journey and Beyond Journey's End or Turbo Granny, even though I haven't watched it. It's between these two. I don't, it doesn't say which one I voted for. It isn't, I wish it would display my votes, even though it's over, but I might give it to Turbo Granny or fucking Fern. One of these two. I really can't tell you. Fern, I think, was a really great character and really developed Freerin. So I think she was a great written and great side character. I did like her more than Himmel. I think Himmel was just kind of like more of a one-dimensional character where he was just only good and had very little. Well, he had flaws, but he had very little flaws, and he almost felt like a pillar, someone who didn't have a lot more than just being a outstanding person and a hero. But Fern seems a lot more human to me, a lot more fleshed out, and I do think she really helps progress the story of Frieren, and yeah, so she probably got my vote for the best side character. Best main character. I don't know what I gave this one. Honestly, it might have been Frieren. Frieren's a great character. She's kind of boring at times, but I think that she develops a lot throughout the show, the 26 episodes where she starts out not caring about humans and how short their lifespans and not developing attachments to then understanding that the lifespan of like human relationships or just any relationships are a lot more important than just, the passage of time is a lot more important to her by the end of the show than it was at the beginning. I think a good character development. Like I said, I can't say anything about any of the other characters except for Sung Jin Woo, which really isn't a super deep character. What in the slightest? He's just kind of like a lot of people use the term aura farmer, and I think that kind of encapsulates Sung Jin Woo perfectly. He's just kind of there to win fights. It's kind of like the same case as One Punch Man, like Saitama from One Punch Man. It's just the same deal. I do think One Punch Man is a bit better with that, but yeah, he's not. And I don't have anything to say about these because I haven't watched these shows. So, yeah. Best slice of life. I've watched half of My Dear Nokotan. It's not my cup of tea. I do enjoy an occasional slice of life anime because it's kind of like something to like kind of shut your brain off and watch. But I'm pretty sure I gave my vote to, I don't know what I gave my vote to actually. Might have been this. I didn't enjoy it that much. If I'm being honest, it was okay. Um, wasn't really my cup of tea when it comes to comedy. I'll get to that later in the votes, but it is okay. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Best drama. I'm pretty sure I once again gave it to Oshinoko. I know I gave Oshinoko everything it's been nominated for, but then again, I do think the second season was a bit of a step down from the first. If I'm being honest, in terms of like the drama aspect of the show, it became, from what I remember, it's been a while since I watched season 2. I watched it like as it aired, basically, and season 1 was like trying to work his way up the industry to find out who set the killer to kill his mother. And then in the second season, he cares less about doing that because he believes his father is already dead. And then it becomes more of like building these relationships with the other characters. And I don't like how it's like focusing more on personal relationships and romance rather than focusing on what made the first season so good, especially in the first 2 episodes were so good. and then they're focusing less on the drama and more on these, like I said, char- character building, which is fine. But I'm not really a fan of like who's the best girl and like the romance shit. Like I don't. I liked it when it was like more focused on let's find out who killed my mother and killing myself basically. So I liked it more when it was more of a revenge story. That's all I'm gonna say there. So I could either go either way. I haven't watched any of these. I've heard Pluto is really good, but in the Apothecary Diaries. But the only two I've watched is Frieren. I'm pretty sure Oshinoko got my vote. Frieren has really good drama too between Frieren and just all the side characters as well. But I think I gave my spell on Oshinoko. I'm gonna leave it at that. Next up, we have Best Isekai. I guess I'll give my brief opinions on the ones I have watched. I feel like the time I got reincarnated as a slime has kind of degraded as the season's gone on. I might be wrong. I haven't watched season 3, but 1 and 2, 1 was pretty good. 2 was kind of like, eh. 3, I don't know. I haven't watched it. ReZero season 3 was, to me, not as good as the previous seasons, especially season 2, part 2, and season 1. I really think it just became less dramatic. A lot of monologuing between fights. The fights were well animated, but there's so much dialogue between fights, so much epilogue, or not epilogue, but so much dialogue just getting spilled out constantly. And I watched it as it aired, and I just kind of got upset, especially when after 6 episodes or eight, I think it was eight. I think it was a 16 episode season. After eight episodes, there's like a 3 month break, and I'm like, what the actual fuck? I hate why is that even a thing for one? But that wouldn't have anything to do with the show. Maybe it does, but it's ReZero. It's always going to be good. But this one was definitely, in my opinion, probably the worst season so far, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because in terms of isekai, this is still one of the best, if not the best. Mushoku Tensei is another one where I think it really got a step back, especially the last 2 episodes of season 2. I really don't like what they're doing with Mushoku Tensei, and I'm really afraid that they're going to go the route that I think they're going to go with this fucking harem bullshit. Do not like harems, and I think it has no place in a show like Mushoku Tensei. I think that's just my opinion. Konosuba, I think this is the show that got my vote for best isekai anime because I just love Konosuba. It's funny, hilarious. It's a parody of. It's like a like a parody of anime or isekai. And I think they do a wonderful job at it. I love all the characters; they're all hilarious. One of the few shows that actually makes me laugh consistently. English dub's really good, and I don't have anything to say about the Suicide Squad isekai, which somehow got nominated for this. And Shangri-La Frontier, I've heard is really good. Haven't watched it, but at some point I will. But I think Konosuba got my vote for this one because of all these, I enjoyed this one the most. It might not be the deepest and the craziest, the most action-packed show on this nomination list, but to me, to me, yeah, I enjoyed watching this one the most, and I'm gonna continue to focus on what shows I enjoyed rather than the shows that, like, from a story and progression standpoint, is better, and we're gonna get into that later. Best action. Um, the only 2 shows I've watched of these is Soul Leveling and Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer Hashira Training Arc was a big step down in terms of the action. It was really just mainly a development arc for the characters to build up to what's going to be the Infinity Castle movie. So I don't even know why this got dominated. It's definitely not going to be it. The only show that I think that I've watched that deserves to win this one was Soul Leveling. Animation is top notch. A1 Pictures did a great job. A1 Pictures really hit and miss with their animation, but they really killed it on this one. And it was just very well done. Best comedy, I once again gave it to Konosuba. I have been watching Delicious in Dungeon. I'm not done with it. I'm low key thinking about dropping it because it's just really not my cup of tea. I'll keep watching it, but if I don't enjoy it by like halfway through it, I might just drop it. But to me, It's not that funny, man. It's not that funny at all. Even in the English dub, where the voice acting is a bit like catered towards like English speakers, like because there's a language barrier between watching a comedy anime and English subbed that you won't really catch if you watch it in English dub. You know what I mean? Like if that makes sense. But like I said, Konosuba, which obviously got my vote. I think like I said, it's one of the few shows that make me laugh. My dear friend Nokatan, once again, didn't find very funny. Maybe if I watch it in English dub, I'll have more of an appreciation for it. But I got 6 episodes in, dropped it. Wasn't very funny. Spy Family has its moments, but I don't think it's very funny. I give it to Konosuba. My vote. Best romance. I didn't vote for any of these because I haven't watched them. Haven't watched a single one of these. Best background art, I once again gave to Demon Slayer because I think once again I think Ufotable is probably one of the better studios just in general for background images. And the like I said, that Infinity Cancel scene at the end of the Hostage Training arc, I might be a little bit biased, but it really blew me away. So I gave it the vote just for that episode. Best director, I gave it to Frieren because I mean, what hasn't already been said about this show? Currently is the highest rated anime on my anime list. The show, which I'm not gonna say it yet, but the show has been is fantastic and was directed beautifully and definitely deserved to be on this vote to get this vote. I could also give it to Delicious and Dungeon. I think they did have a pretty good direction there, and like I said, Hostage Training Arc probably one of the weaker seasons of Demon Slayer, but I think it's a very necessary one. And like I said, I don't know anything about Dan to Dan. One Piece fan letter. I mean, I could give it to this one too, but I don't watch One Piece, so I gave it to Freeman. Best character design. I'm pretty sure I gave it to Demon Slayer, but after watching Delicious and Dungeon, could honestly see going with that as well. Dan to Dan. I'm gonna give it to Dan to Dan, but I haven't watched it, but I heard it's really good. But between the two shows I have watched, once again, I'd probably give it to Demon Slayer. Best animation, I gave to Solo Leveling, which I think is a bit controversial because I hear a lot of people saying Free Rent animation is really good, which it is. Madhouse is definitely my top like 3 anime studios. Up there with the goats. I mean, it is one of the goats to be honest. So, um, great animation. But I gave it to Solo Leveling. I think Solo Leveling had me more interested. I guess it's more of an objective thing or subjective um kind of thing, like what anime style that you prefer. Like maybe a lot of people might like quicker animation, maybe people want like more fluid, more colorful. There's like different styles of animation that people prefer. Whatever solo you have, I enjoyed over all these. Didn't watch any of these, so couldn't tell you. Didn't vote. Best new series. Pretty sure I gave it to Freerin. Was there even to say? Was there even to say that has an argument about Freerin? Best continuing series. I think I gave it to Oshinoko. I expressed my opinions on this show a lot. Haven't got caught. I ain't caught up with My Hero Academia. Neither am I with Spy Family. Never watched Bleach. I've heard the Thousand Year Blood War is really freaking good, but I have not watched it, so I don't have any opinions on that. One Piece I heard is really good once you get to the second half of the show. I don't have the time or the willpower to watch a show as long as One Piece. I know it's really good. I don't want to invest my time into that. I can barely finish Dragon Ball. I'm not gonna be able to finish One Piece. Pretty sure I gave it to Oshinoko. That's all I got there. Didn't watch any of the movies that are here listed here. Now we got the final. I think this is gonna be controversial. I think I know I changed my vote. I might change my vote here just right now. Okay. 3 of these shows I've watched. The rest I haven't. Delicious Dungeons I haven't finished. These 2 I have. When I originally casted my vote for Anime of the Year, I didn't realize that this is season 1 of Soul Leveling. So honestly, I gave my vote to Soul Leveling thinking it was season 2. I did think it was better. The reason I picked it over Frieren is because, if I'm going to be honest, I dropped Frieren like twice. I got bored of it midway through the early in the show, like episode 7 or 8. I didn't really enjoy it that much, and then I moved on to other shows. Came back, watched it to like episode like 16 or 17, dropped it again, and then after like a week or two, I finally sat down and finished it. And because I dropped it so much, and I didn't drop Solo Leveling at all throughout the entirety of it, which is about the same amount of episodes. I think Solo Leveling has 25, Frieren has like 28. Um, yeah, I gave it to Solo Leveling, man. Now I think I'd give it to Frieren because I do think season 2 of Solo Leveling is better than Frieren. Just my opinion. I enjoyed it more. I tuned into every episode. I even started reading the manhwa after watching it. I also read it prior to this, but I watched it again because of season 2. And Frieren, I dropped twice and had to rewatch it multiple times. I was honestly kind of disappointed because of how highly critically acclaimed this thing is. Frieren was. I never I never really saw the hype that was around Frieren, and even after finishing it, I still don't. Maybe there's something that didn't click in my brain at the time, but there were a lot of episodes that I felt like didn't have to exist and were just really took me out. You can say I'm pretty immature and just want action. Go ahead, but that's just my opinion. Gave it to Solo Leveling. Now I'd give it to Frieren, but yeah, I think this is probably the most controversial of the picks. Let me know what you think in the comments, and yeah, hope you don't get too mad at me. That's why I saved this for last. 'Cause I knew this was going to be controversial, but that's at the end. I gave it to Solo Leveling. If it was Solo Leveling season 2, I'd still stand by what I said, but now I'd probably switch it to Frieren since I know it's season 1. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.